Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The northernmost Trestle Bridge on the Atlantic and Yadkin Greenway, located between Strawberry Road and Burr Mill Park, is closed to all traffic. It will not reopen until it is replaced. Since there is no paved detour route, pedestrians and bicyclists will need to use an alternative trailhead south of the Trestle Bridge. This closure is necessary based on the recommendations of an engineering firm's structural assessment of the Greenway's two bridges spanning Lake Brandt. The assessment was part of a larger project to bring the section of Greenway between Strawberry Road and Lake Brandt Road up to design standards. The city is prioritizing this project and actively pursuing approximately $2.5 million for the planning, design, and construction. The Greensboro Urban Metropolitan Planning Organization is seeking $2 million in federal funds, which will be combined with a $500,000 local match. The design and permitting is anticipated to begin early next year, with construction in 2025 due to the sensitive watershed habitat surrounding the bridge, permitting requirements, and project complexity. The North Carolina Mountains to Sea Trail will be temporarily rerouted along the Piedmont Trail. The Weaver Bridge south of Burr Mill Park will remain open. Download the free Piedmont Discovery app for a complete list of trails and greenways to explore. The Greensboro Police Department is recruiting civilian traffic investigators, or CTIs. The responsibility of a CTI is to provide non-emergency services such as assistance to stranded motorists, traffic directions, and vehicle crash investigations as outlined by state law. Candidates must successfully complete training designed by the North Carolina Justice Academy specific to traffic crash investigation, along with approximately 160 hours of field training with officers experienced in this area. Upon successful completion of all training, CTIs will be expected to monitor radio dispatch for vehicle crashes, traffic hazards, disabled vehicles, respond to non-emergency accidents, conduct investigations, and subsequently complete all state and city required forms. These positions will assist the GPD Traffic Safety Unit for special events such as traffic enforcement campaigns, license checks, and DWI checkpoints. CTIs will also respond to natural emergencies such as power outages and storm response. The job postings for these positions will remain open until 11:59 p.m. on November 3rd. Visit the city's website to apply. The city's Transgender Task Force invites the community to attend the Transgender Day of Remembrance Vigil. The memorial will take place on Monday, November 20th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in front of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The remembrance commemorates all transgender people who lost their lives to violence. This day was established back in 1999 by advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith to honor the memory of Rita Hester, a transgender woman killed in 1998. This vigil will lift up the lives of those lost in Greensboro due to anti-transgender bigotry and violence. This is also an opportunity to raise awareness of the importance of continuing to fight for justice. The mission of the Transgender Task Force is to provide public education on transgender issues and to improve the quality of life for the city's transgender residents. To learn more about the task force, visit the city's website. For more information about the Day of Remembrance, visit GLAAD's website. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Over 1 in 3 Americans ages 18 and older have prediabetes. What is it and how can you reduce your risks? Prediabetes is when you have a blood glucose or blood sugar level which is higher than normal but not quite high enough to be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You can reduce your risk of prediabetes and prevent it from furthering to type 2 diabetes by several things. One, you can eat a well-balanced diet, which includes fruits, vegetables, calcium-rich foods, whole grains, and protein foods. Also, you could exercise at least 150 minutes a week, which is equivalent to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And you can also work with a registered dietitian who will help establish long-lasting healthy habits which are specific for you. Individuals who are at a higher risk of becoming pre-diabetic are those that are ages 45 years or older, who also have a BMI or body mass index of 25 or greater. Also, individuals who are 45 years old or younger who have the BMI of 25 or higher, along with high blood pressure or high cholesterol or a history of type 2 diabetes in their family or have a history of inactivity. So there are certain races and ethnicities who are more at risk: African Americans, Native Americans, Asian Americans, Latino, and Pacific Islanders. There are no clear signs and symptoms of prediabetes, which is why it's important to have routine visits with your primary care physician because you may have it and not know it. When you go to your primary care provider, there are several tests that can be done to diagnose prediabetes. One test is a hemoglobin A1C and having a value between 5.7 and 6.4, or having a fasting blood glucose test done and your value is between 100 and 125 milligrams per deciliter, or having an oral glucose tolerance test done where your 2-hour blood glucose level reads between 140 and 199 milligrams per deciliter. So one thing that comes up a lot with, especially with the exercise, you don't have to do 30 minutes in one lump sum. You can do 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, as long as you're getting that 30 minutes within that 24-hour period. And that can be anything that gets your heart rate pumping. So if it's taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator, you don't have to make a total lifestyle change at one time. You can take small steps by, for instance, if you're skipping meals or if you miss breakfast or miss lunch, try incorporating that meal so that you're getting at least 3 meals a day. Also too, when you go to the shopping center, instead of hunting down that first parking space, you can park farther away, get in some extra steps. It is proven that when you make interventions such as lifestyle change, including changing your eating habits, having a well-balanced diet, increasing your physical activity, you can prolong being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Thank you for joining me. I hope this information has been helpful. To learn more, go to conehealth.com/diabetes. I am Donetta Floyd.
Governor Roy Cooper named a city employee to serve on one of his advisory councils, and applications for arts grants are being accepted. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The city's International Support and Language Access Coordinator, Jody Stanley, has been named Vice Chair of the Governor's Advisory Council on Hispanic Latino Affairs. Governor Roy Cooper announced the appointment in a ceremony celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month at the Governor's Mansion in Raleigh. Citing the importance of the Hispanic Latino community in the state's economy and diverse society, Cooper established the council in 2017 to inform the governor on issues important to the state's Hispanic Latino populations. The council also aids state efforts to promote cooperation and understanding between the Hispanic Latino community, the general public, the state, and federal and local governments. Stanley is one of the council's 12 voting members and will serve a 2-year term. The council also includes ex officio non-voting members who represent various state commissions, departments, and offices. Born to second-generation missionaries in Bolivia, Stanley moved to the U.S. in 1996 and became a citizen in 2022. She joined the city of Greensboro in 2006 and became Greensboro's first International Support and Language Access Coordinator in 2022. The loose leaf collection program is underway with 2 collection windows. Leaves placed near the curb by November 6th will be picked up by December 22nd. If you miss that window, you have another opportunity to place leaves at the curb by January 2nd to be collected by February 2nd. Residents should follow these guidelines for a successful leaf collection season. Rake all leaves to the edge of your yard behind the curb, not in the street. Be sure to remove all sticks, rocks, and other debris that may damage city equipment. Do not park vehicles on, in front of, or near the pile of leaves. You can follow the collection trucks by checking the interactive map to determine when your neighborhood will be serviced. Leaves can be disposed of year-round. Simply put them at the curb in a plastic or metal garbage can. Crews will collect the leaves on your regular trash collection day. The leaf collection schedule may change due to inclement weather. Please note the city does not collect loose leaves on private streets. This is the final season for loose leaf collection in Greensboro. Next year, residents will receive a collection container for leaves and other yard waste. For more information about the new changes, visit the city's website. Creative Greensboro will award $300,000 through its Sustaining Creativity Community Partnership Grants Program. This provides financial support for general operations, administration, and programs to nonprofit organizations with a primary focus on creative programming. The grants are designed to extend resources to groups not currently receiving significant support from the City of Greensboro. Applications are online and the deadline to apply is Friday, November 17th. Interested applicants can learn more about the program by attending information sessions on November 2nd and November 7th. Chief Creative Economy Officer Jacqueline Boone said artistic and cultural organizations provide programming and opportunities that encourage connection, creativity, and community. When we invest in them, we are investing in what I believe is the heartbeat of the city. A panel led by Greensboro Cultural Affairs Commissioners will evaluate the applications. Grants amounting between $10,000 and $25,000 will be awarded. Applicants must be Guilford County-based nonprofits with a primary mission of arts, culture, and creativity, and with a majority of public programs being held within the city limits of Greensboro. To access the application, review the grant requirements, and to register for the information session, visit the city's website. The city has a new department focused on transit and multi-mobility options to get you around town. Coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to Greensboro's new transit director. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Exploring all the possible options for mobility and the goal of making Greensboro a car-optional city falls under the umbrella of the Transit Department. Joining me now to talk about the vision and plans for the next 20 years is Reginald Mason. He is the director of Greensboro's new Transit Department. Hello, Reginald. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me. Well, since you are new to the Triad, it would be nice for folks to just get a feel of who you are and tell us a little bit about your history with transit.
Well, I've been here now 2 months. I've worked in mass transit over the last 26 years. Worked all over the country, Houston, Chicago, Atlanta, San Francisco, both on the public sector side and the private sector side.
Okay, so certainly transit systems in much larger, like metropolis, I guess,
Yes.
metropolitan areas brings you to Greensboro where you can have more of a controlled feel.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You came on board after the city manager had a renewed sense for transit, creating the transit department. So what is your vision for Greensboro Transit Agency?
My vision for the agency is twofold. 2045 is to be car optional. But when I look at the GTA, my goal with the GTA is to be one of the best transit agencies in the country, providing service to all riders, not just transit-dependent riders, but those car folks too. Get them out of the cars, get them on our buses, riding our system.
Okay, so in order to do that, you are preparing for the brighter future, so to speak, when it
Yes.
comes to transit with Go Borough, which is the long-range planning.
Yes.
So tell us, how does that look and what does that entail, and how can the community support this effort?
Well, Go Borough, it's a plan where we're looking at two options. We have a coverage option and a ridership option. And what I mean by that, coverage is providing bus services for all and connecting everyone, or we have the ridership option, which also is connecting everyone, but also at a quicker, faster pace. Currently, we're going to run our buses every 30 and 60 minutes. With the coverage option, it'll still be similar, 30 to 60 minute, but spread out more. But with the ridership option, it's more faster, frequent service, which will get folks to jobs a lot quicker and provide them more access to jobs. And one of my goals here is to also get folks to jobs and create economic viability for the community.
So 2045 is for the car optional piece.
Yes.
How soon would we see this faster mobility that you're
We're
describing?
we're looking at probably in the next 3 to 5 years with GoBoro, with this plan. If approved, we would have to go after a half-cent sales tax to pay for the actual service. But initially, we're doing interviews and talking to folks out in the community, giving them input on GoBoro, and then asking for feedback and which option, the ridership or coverage option that they would like to have.
Okay, so we're going to stay tuned and hear what the public has to say, which is an important piece of the equation. And we certainly feel like you've come in and hit the ground running. You've got some really great ideas, bringing them in from these larger metropolitan areas. And do come back and give us updates on the community's engagement.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Residents can have a say about how the city responds when its public drinking water supply system is low. This affects how much water is available for public consumption, sanitation, health, and fire protection. The procedures listed in the Water Shortage Response Plan represents the city's formal response to such water shortages. State rules require systems to publish the plan for public comment every 5 years. Greensboro is located at the top of the Cape Fear watershed and depends on surface water stored in reservoirs for its water supply. This makes the city more vulnerable to periods of drought compared to other utilities. For this reason, the city's water shortage response plan is based on the percentage of available surface water stored in its reservoirs. If you have comments to share about the plan, send an email to Water Resources Director Mike Borchers or email Scott Jewell, the city's water supply manager. The deadline to submit comments is 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, November 18th. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some of the special events happening this weekend on the town. Discover a whole new world at Disney's Aladdin, the hit Broadway musical, at the Tanger Center, October 31st through November 5th. The production features your favorite songs from the film, plus new music written by Tony and Academy Award winner Alan Menken. Tickets start at $33. Get yours at the box office or online at tangercenter.com. Celebrate Dia de los Muertos at the Central Library on November 3rd. Casa Azul and library staff present crafts for children related to the Mexican holiday that celebrates loved ones who have passed. This is a free event for families and children. Learn more at greensborolibrary.org. The winter holidays are just around the corner, so get in the spirit of the season at the annual holiday market at the Greensboro Special Events Center, November 3rd through the 5th. The show has all of the food, fun, magic, music, and gifts of the season. Tickets are available at the door for $10, $1 for kids 6 through 12. Learn more online at greensborocoliseum.com. The 2023 Walk to Defeat ALS is November 4th at First National Bank Field in downtown Greensboro. The fundraiser features a 1.25 mile course route around the home of the Greensboro Grasshoppers baseball team. Learn how you can participate online at alsnc.org. The greatest homecoming on earth is the first weekend in November at North Carolina A&T State University. This year's Aggie Homecoming Concert is November 4th at the Greensboro Coliseum. Rapper and singer Lil Durk and R&B star Summer Walker headlined the show. Tickets start at $71.50. Get yours at the box office or online at greensborocoliseum.com. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents, and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Have you ever called a City of Greensboro office to report something and you were told that office doesn't handle the issue? Even if you're told the correct office to contact, the time spent getting to the right person can be frustrating. That's why the city's Code Compliance Division is hosting the Code Academy. This will be a series of discussions about what inspectors are and are not responsible for. They will also explain the importance of knowing the differences between the Housing Code and the Nuisance Code. Join one of the Code Academy sessions on Thursday, November 9th at 11 a.m. at the Glenwood Recreation Center located at 2010 Coliseum Boulevard, or 6:30 p.m. at the Brown Recreational Center located at 302 East Vandalia Road. Code Academy is free and open to the public. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO Shout Out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO Shout Out. This week's shout out goes to the Code Compliance Division. Minimum housing standards affects our refugee communities in a different way. Most of our refugee neighbors lack the education needed to maintain a home. City ordinances can be a major culture shock, especially for those from other countries that do not have similar rules and regulations. The Code Compliance team, with the assistance of GTN, produced an educational video. It walks you through the do's and don'ts of Greensboro's minimum housing standards. This video will be made available in multiple languages. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.